what's up? My name is Samuel Leeds, and on this video, I wanted to talk about rent to rent. Now, I'm going to be going into quite a lot of detail on rent to rents. I recently posted a video. It was like a 40-second summary video. I posted it on TikTok and Instagram. It had thousands and thousands of views, and I had hundreds of questions from people saying, but what about this, and what about that, and what about the detail, and all sorts of questions. So I figured I would answer all those questions and do a detailed version of rent to rents here on YouTube. So first, I'm going to play you the summary version, and then once you've seen the summary version, then I'm going to expand and talk about some of the detail. So watch and enjoy. Let me explain to you a strategy called rent to rent. This is how people make money from property without even owning the property. So instead of buying this house, this little 3-bed, 2 reception room house, they'll actually just rent it and they'll pay the landlord £500 a month. And instead of living in the house, they will rent out each room. And they'll turn this sitting room into a bedroom, and they'll rent out each room for £400 per month. So 400 times 4 is £1,600. Now, sure, they're going to have to pay the landlord £500 rent, and they're going to have to also pay the bills on the property, which might be £400, but that's going to leave a cash flow of £800 per month on a property that they do not even own. That is rent to rent. I literally just did that impromptu. I said the profit was 800. That was my bad math. It was actually 700. Not many people surprisingly picked up on that, but what they did pick up on was lots of other things. So the first thing that people said is, isn't this subletting? Isn't this illegal? And the answer to that is, no, it is not illegal. Rent to rent is not a new thing. It's been around for years. It's something that's very, very commonly accepted in commercial property, in businesses. All this is it's a business agreement on a residential property. So as long as you use the right agreement, if you use an AST contract and then just sublet it, then that is illegal. But if you use a correct contract, and that is a management agreement, a corporate let, and tell the landlord what you're doing, it is perfectly legal. The second thing that got asked a lot and people said is, they said, but Samuel, to do what you just suggested on the scrap of paper, you would need a license because it's a HMO and HMOs need licenses. It was surprising how many people said this who were even letting agents and people that were apparently experienced in property, because here's the thing. You do not need a HMO license unless there are 5 or more tenants in the property. So my example that I sketched out with 4 tenants, that would not need a license. Now, this does vary slightly from council to council, but the standard rule of thumb is that you'll only need a HMO license if the property has 5 or more people. Now, you still will need fire doors and smoke alarms to keep it safe, but you will not need a license, nor will you need any kind of rent-to-rent license in order to carry out a rent-to-rent deal. The third question that came up was planning permission. People said to change the use of a single let into a multi-let, you need planning permission. Again, this is just not the case. You only need planning permission if the HMO has got 7 or more people in the property, or if it's in an Article 4 area. You will need to check with the council to see what the rules are on this, because some councils have strange rules, such as Oxford. However, you can do that on a very special website, which is Google. Google. If you just Google what the HMO rules are in a particular area, you'll be able to see whether you need planning permission or whether you need a license. And generally speaking, for the example that I did on the scrap of paper, you will not need either. Fourth question that came up, which is about the mortgage. Now, if there is a mortgage on the property and you're turning a buy-to-let into a HMO, will you need permission from the lender? Now, it might be that the lender has restrictions on turning it into a multi-let. If there are restrictions from the lender, then you'll need to ask the lender's permission. This is just general standard practice in property investing. If you're going to rent something out, you need permission to do that. And if you're going to rent it out in a peculiar way, such as serviced accommodation or buy the room on a multi-let or HMO, of course, you're going to need to make sure that the lending on the property is fit for purpose with what you actually do with the property. The fifth thing that came up, and this was one of the most common ones, people were saying, but Samuel, what if you can't rent out the rooms? And then you're stuck and you took on a property and now you've got to pay the landlord and you can't even rent it out. And my response to that is, well, that's the importance of due diligence and market research. You're not going to take on a property unless you're confident you're going to rent the rooms out. And if you do take on a property and you can't rent the rooms out, then thank God you didn't buy the property. See it as an experience. I mean, when people say rent to rent's really risky and really hard because you might not be able to rent the rooms out and there's the problems with the tenants and all this stuff, I'm thinking, well, surely if you're going to argue that, then you're just going to say that property in general is risky. And the truth is, if you do it wrong, yes, it's hard. You can have problems with tenants. You can buy properties in the wrong area and you can't rent them out as much as you thought. And that's why it's really important to get the correct training. And rent to rent is a really good way of actually getting experience with property without necessarily having to buy a property. Sixth question is, well, who on earth as a landlord would let a amateur newbie take on their property as a rent to rent and guaranteed to give them a rent if this amateur person doesn't know what they're doing? This is something that a lot of people were saying as well. And I think the answer to that is, of course, there's going to be some landlords that wouldn't. There's going to be some that would. And it's just a case of being able to get the skills to be able to be confident and competent when you're speaking to the landlord. If you've gone through a training program and you know what to say, how to check an area, how to speak to people, that's going to put you head and shoulders above people that are just having a bash. Also, one of the reasons I advocate training programs is because I've seen firsthand, I've experienced this myself, and I've seen this with many other of my students, is you'll have a student over here who's got a large property portfolio and he's wanting to scale up and get into development. And then you've got a student over here who's wanting to get into rent to rents. He's got no money, he's got no properties. And these two actually meet up on the training program, and this person passes this person one of his properties on a rent to rent. So this person's a newbie, but if they're in the right place at the right time and educating themselves and confident and learning what to say and how to speak well, of course it's possible. And there are landlords that pass on their properties to newbies, as long as those newbies are investing in themselves, are educating themselves, and know the crack. Number 8, and this is another objection which people say about rent to rents, and they say that it is not passive. It's not passive income. Listen, firstly, it can be passive, because if you take on rent to rents and then you employ somebody to manage the whole thing, that is passive. However, if you're managing it yourself, which you probably will be when you start off with, it might not be passive. You're going to need to manage it. You're going to need to deal with tenants, but it's still income. And if you haven't got lots of money to start with and you're starting from scratch, getting some rent to rent properties and making 500, 700, 1,000 pounds a month from a property that you don't own, even if it's not completely passive, it's still, in my opinion, pretty good going. I mean, you might have seen on Winners Wednesday, a lady called Stella. She came on my channel just about a month ago. She's making £4,500 profit a month, and she's doing that on top of her full-time job with rent to rents. So is it passive? Probably not completely passive, but is it worth looking at? 100% yes. Which leads me to my last question, which is it worth doing? Is it worth the trouble? And listen, that just depends on you. If you have got a job that's paying you £3,000 a month and you know that 5 rent-to-rent properties could replace that, and you're just desperate to get out of your job and you're itching to get into property and get your hands dirty and you're prepared to work hard, then it probably is worth doing rent-to-rents. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, don't want to work hard and have a very low risk appetite and are happy to stay in a job, then maybe it's not worth doing. It just depends on you as a person. But rent to rent as a strategy and as a tool is certainly a very feasible tool, and it does work for lots and lots of people if you do it right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on rent to rents below. Drop a comment. Also, if you've got a question about rent to rents you'd like answering, drop a comment, drop a question below. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed the video. And also, if you watch my videos but you're not subscribed, turn on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, as there's going to be some absolutely awesome videos coming up very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out. I'll see you next time.